Hello, guys.
Hey, Diego, congratulations. Did you think you had him when you hit him with that big shot in the first round?
Felicitaciones. ¿Creíste que lo tenías ahí en el primer round cuando le pegaste?
Sí, definitivamente, ¿no? Sentí que podía terminarlo, pero bueno, ¿qué te puedo decir? Brian Ortega es un peleador que tiene bastante durabilidad y sabemos que tenemos que llevar las cosas con calma.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I had him when I landed that blow, but Brian Ortega, man, he's a tough fighter, so we realized we got to take things slowly.
And you let him up a couple times. Was it just you felt his defense was so good on the ground that you were better off standing?
Lo dejaste parar un par de veces. ¿Eso era porque la defensa de él en el piso era muy buena y querías pelear en pie con él?
Sí, o sea, mi objetivo era poder dejar un mensaje claro que puede ser un peleador completo, ¿no? Yo creo que esa noche el mensaje fue claro. O sea, puedo pelear 3 rounds de strike, si es necesario luchar, pues vamos a luchar, ¿no? Y sí, pues definitivamente fue eso.
No, my goal was to give a message to the whole division, that I'm a complete, rounded fighter. And I think I was able to do that. If I want to strike for 15 minutes, I'll do it. If I want to wrestle for 15 minutes, I'll do it. I think I left my message pretty clear tonight.
What was the experience like fighting in that environment with all that color and everything that was going on? Was it in any way distracting, and did it motivate you more than maybe any other fight?
¿Cómo fue la experiencia en pelear en ese ambiente, con las luces, con los colores? ¿Te motivó más? ¿Cómo fue eso?
Pues bueno, ¿qué te digo? Soy un peleador muy sencillo que la neta estaba tan enfocado en la pelea que no puse atención en esto, ¿no? Ahorita simplemente quiero regresar a mi casa, prender la tele y ahora sí disfrutar del gran show que nos presentó UFC.
Oh man, what can I say? I'm a simple fighter, man. I was completely focused on my opponent. I was not overwhelmed by the lights or anything like that. I didn't see that. All I want to do now is go back home, put the TV on, and be able to enjoy the show that UFC put on tonight.
Last question for me. Just what do you think went wrong on Alexa's end? Do you think she just didn't have a spark tonight? Was Valentina that good, or was there something in Alexa's game that was off tonight?
¿Qué decir que pasó con el juego de Alexa hoy? ¿O Valentina era superior o algo en la estrategia de Alexa no encajó hoy para la victoria?
No, pues hoy sentimos que Alexa se congeló un poco, no estuvo en la pelea, pero bueno, ¿qué te puedo decir? No es como que Valentina hizo mucho tampoco, ¿no? Simplemente derribaba y quedaba por arriba controlando. Si hubiera hecho daño era una cosa diferente, pero no hizo nada tampoco.
I think Alexa froze and wasn't in the fight tonight, and Valentina didn't do much either. She took it. What she do? She just took it to the ground and tried to control her there. Didn't do any damage. She didn't do anything either.
¿Qué tal, Diego? ¿Cómo estás? Buenas noches. Bueno, felicidades por la victoria.
Gracias.
Preguntarte qué salió diferente en los rounds de lo que entrenaste, de tu campamento. ¿Qué crees que se te pudo ir un momento quizá de las manos?
No, de hecho, creo que nada. Creo que hoy hicimos con un buen performance, ¿no? Yo creo que hicimos un performance limpio. Podemos defender los derribes, podemos conectar buenas manos, le podemos hacer 2 knockdowns, si no me equivoco, si hice 2 knockdowns, el primero y el tercero. Pues bueno, nada, es justamente lo que estábamos esperando de la pelea, un Brian pues completamente duro, ¿no?
Totalmente. Bueno, Brian, Diego, ¿qué sigue para ti ahora después de tener esta victoria? Posiblemente como hasta puede llegar a ser el performance de la noche. ¿Qué sigue para ti después?
No, pues ahora espero que el martes por la mañana mi nombre pues esté en el top 3 de ranking. Y ya de ahí, pues bueno, ver qué sigue, ¿no? Yo voy a estar listo para lo que UFC nos ofrezca.
Perfecto, gracias.
Hola, Diego. Buenas noches acá en el centro. ¿Qué tan importante, una noche mexicana, qué tan importante ha sido para ti trabajar en México, especialmente en Tijuana, no?
Perdón, Puebla, ¿va? Vivo en Puebla. No, pues para mí ha sido increíble, hermano. Ha sido increíble porque cuando terminó mi última pelea, yo pude regresar a Puebla, donde está mi casa, mi gimnasio y todo, y poder trabajar con mi gente, con mis alumnos, con mis maestros y todos ellos, ¿no? Con toda la gente que está ahí. Y para mí fue muy importante porque yo soy una persona que le gusta tener mucho la energía de todos los que están conmigo, ¿no? Y así fue durante todo el campamento.
After my last fight, it was very important that I was able to go back home to Puebla and be with my students, be with my camp, with my team, and be able to have a full camp. So I'm the type of guy, the type of fighter who needs that sort of energy, and I think this was really important for me coming up to this fight.
Diego, ¿cómo se siente haber podido traer un triunfo a tus fanáticos mexicanos en una noche donde no iban muchas victorias de los peleadores mexicanos?
No, pues Me siento triste por los compañeros que acabaron perdiendo, ¿no? Pero pues sabemos con ese deporte es el deporte más duro del mundo, hermano. No, ni siempre vamos a tener una noche redonda, ¿no? Pude salir con la victoria, estoy muy feliz, pero obvio pues estoy un poco triste también pues por todos los que no pudieron alcanzar la victoria esta noche.
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about all the Mexicans who lost the fight tonight. Obviously, I'm happy with my win, but you know, I wanted more Mexicans to win. But you know what, this is the toughest sport in the world. You can't have always get what you want. So yeah, a bit upset about that.
¿Dónde? Oh.
Hola Diego, ¿qué tal para Chile?
Ah,
Hemos visto un gran combate el día de hoy, te quiero felicitar por aquello. Bueno, varios ya te han hecho varias preguntas, así que lo único que te puedo pedir yo desde acá, si puedes mandar un saludo a la fanaticada de Chile.
Un saludo, gracias a toda la gente de Chile. De hecho, bueno, últimamente he escuchado muchas canciones de reggaetón chino, perdón, de chileno. Y luego la gente está comentando en mi página y pues nada, la gente de Chile que me apoya, pues muchas gracias. Les mando un abrazo a todos.
Just a shout out to Chile. I've been listening to a lot of reggaeton from Chile lately, so I just want to say hi to everyone there. Appreciate their support.
Diego, por acá, Diego, ¿qué tal? Esta cuestión no tan común de un peleador que después de su pelea se sube a la esquina, ¿no?, para apoyar a una amiga y compañera, ¿no?, como lo es Alexa. Descríbenos un poco ese momento y también pues el tema de Alexa, ¿cómo está ella? No sé si platicaste con ella, ¿cuáles son las sensaciones?
No, pues yo soy un peleador, pues no peleador, te voy a hablar de Diego como persona, soy una persona muy amigable a todos, ¿no? Yo siempre me gusta dar soporte a todos mis compañeros, mis amigos, mis alumnos, y era mi objetivo estar en la esquina de Alexa. Infelizmente no pude llevar la victoria. Ahorita no la he visto porque me tuvieron que traer para acá para hacer mis mandatos, ¿no?, de entrevista de todo eso. Ahorita llegando, pues bueno, espero verla y pues preguntar cómo está, ¿no?
Yeah, I'm going to say this not only as a fighter, but as a person. I'm a very friendly kind of guy, and I really want to support everyone from my team. So I made sure, I wanted to be there for Alexa. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, unfortunately, we didn't get the win tonight, and I wasn't able to speak with her because I was brought up here for all my meeting commitments, but I'm looking forward to speak with her after this.
Diego, right here. Diego, with your last several fights happening in Las Vegas, do you care about traveling or seeing somewhere new in your next fight, or is that not important to you?
Ya tuviste varias peleas acá en Las Vegas. ¿Quieres viajar a otros lados o eso no hace diferencia, no importa para ti? Conocer otros países, otros lugares.
Pues definitivamente a mí me gustaría pelear en otros países, pero si yo puedo pelear todas mis peleas en Las Vegas, pues para mí yo contento, ¿no? Tengo todo lo que necesito acá y no hay necesidad de otro lado. Si puedo pelear acá todas mis peleas, yo contento.
I would love to go and travel and fight on the countries, but if all my rest of my fights happen in Vegas, I'm down to that, man. I'm happy with that. I got everything I need here, so I'll be happy to fight the rest of my fights here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we get started, guys, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize the firefighters and the first responders in Nevada who have been fighting these fires all week. They've been working around the clock to keep the state safe, and just want to say to all of them, thank you from the UFC. So let's start with that. The attendance tonight was 16,024. Was sold out. It was a $22 million gate. It was the highest grossing. It was the highest grossing UFC event, highest grossing event at the Sphere, and we broke our record for #1 merch sales in UFC history for this event. Let's see. Bahamondes and Ketlin, performance of the night, and then obviously Esteban and Zellhuber won fight of the night. They all won $50,000. What's up? Who's first?
Dana, did the event live up to what you expected, and was there anything that you wanted to do that you didn't do that now you wish you had?
Literally, the whole thing was seamless. It went perfect. We didn't have a lot of time to rehearse. That was our big, worry coming in here, but they nailed it. The team absolutely nailed it. I mean, I saw it, like I told you guys before, I saw it first when it was like 50% resolution. Then I was in here the other day for Thursday was our first full rehearsal, and Thursday was our first full rehearsal for that show. So the team killed it. It was absolutely amazing.
So does that, given the fact that you said yesterday it would be very profitable, it was an extremely good event tonight, do you change your mind about it being one and done?
No. I'm under contract with MGM. So, yeah, I'm under contract. You know, this thing, I told you guys leading up to this, the way that this whole thing played out, tonight was meant to happen. So it happened. We did it. We killed it. And, I have literally been getting blown up by everybody about this event. And I guess we did, the other thing that we accomplished is it translated well onto television, too. I feel like people felt like it was a different experience than they get on a normal Saturday night for a UFC event.
Just wanted to get you to comment a little at length about the Zellhuber-Ribovics fight, and especially in the one round when, I think it was the second round, when he looked like he was going out, and for that kid to come back and fight back and land a couple shots at the end. I mean, the balls he showed, and just kind of the heart that he showed in that at the end was incredible.
Yeah, I mean that's why that's fight of the night. I mean, those guys were literally going toe to toe. Both of them got hurt. Both of them recovered and kept swinging. It was incredible fight.
Is that rank up there with Henderson and Shogun and some of the best fights you've seen?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen.
And I want Valentina's strategy was effective, but it kind of sucked the life out of the room. How disappointing was that to see that fight and sort of just you could hear a pin drop as they were fighting?
You can put on $20 million worth of production, but you can't control the fights. They're going to be what they are. So I cannot let that drive me crazy.
And then just your thought on the main event. I mean, it seemed like an odd beginning there with Merab calling timeout, and I guess there was a kiss apparently.
Well, no, he didn't call timeout. What happened was Merab and O'Malley's corner were screaming at each other the whole beginning of the fight. They were yelling at each other back and forth, and then Herb Dean stepped in and told them to knock it off. Yeah, and then the kissing in the back and standing up and walking away before the bell, that I have no idea. Merab does some shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was weird, but not shocking.
His performance was what everybody would have expected. Were you disappointed with Sean? Sean had fire in that last little bit when he was throwing those body kicks, but you didn't seem to see that fire from Sean maybe throughout that you might have expected.
I don't disagree with you. He looked flat. He didn't look sharp. He didn't look crisp until the last round. He hurt him with that body shot. He knew he hurt him with the body shot, and he kept going in and trying to finish. But, yeah, I don't agree. I mean, I looked at the punch stats. He's like 6 in a couple of the rounds. So,
Do you feel like, I don't know if you can put your finger on why he performed the way he did, but there was so many expectations on him, and this card was built and got so much hype, and then he is the star of the card. Do you think that might have impacted him in any way?
I mean, you'd have to ask him that. I don't know the answer to that question, but I think that he's one of those kids that lives for moments like this. I mean, this is what he's all about. He's that guy. I think that I don't know if he just got in there tonight and felt flat. Some nights it's just is what it is.
And then finally, where does this night rank in your greatest nights since you work with UFC? Because given everything you pulled off, and given, except for the last two fights, it was an unbelievable night of fights. I mean, where does it rank in your pantheon of great nights?
Yeah, it's right up there with COVID. I mean, going through COVID was really tough, challenging, and then this is the same thing. We didn't have enough time to pull this event off. We didn't have enough time to rehearse this event. We spent shitloads of money on the production, and now when I kept telling you guys, I'm in this thing 17 million, I'm in this thing 20 million. You get the 20 million now, right? I mean, you saw it tonight. I mean, this is as good as the production quality in this building tonight was off the charts. And the thing that made this so, told you this was meant to happen. And doing Mexican Independence Day in the Sphere, you're actually telling a story. There's a story to be told rather than just fights. Because if you just do fights on a regular fight night, somebody came up to me and said, "This is so fucking awesome. You got to do 4th of July now for America." But the point is, there's stories to be told, and this was the perfect place to tell Mexican Independence Day story.
Last question for me, and I kind of alluded to this at the beginning, but was there anything that the building was technically capable of doing that
we didn't do?
That was brought up to you that you didn't do?
No. Anybody in the haptic seats? Did you feel it tonight? No. It was pretty cool. The seats, we did everything that, from the audio to the seats to you name it. We did everything that this building's capable of doing, and some things it's not capable of doing. It wasn't set up for. I mean, just to give you guys an idea, think about this: for 30 years, we've had that center hung lighting grid above the octagon, right? And in that is lighting, cameras, microphones, audio, all that shit in the center. That thing went away. We had to figure out how to make that go away, and make it look good on television and make it look good in house. It took 4 months to do that. It took 4 months to figure that out, and they were still. Did you guys look up and sometimes you'd see the lights shining through? That was the lighting grid that they actually installed. Our people installed behind the panels. So then the question is, that's 300 feet. The lighting grid's 40 feet. 300 feet, 40 feet, and you have to have you can't have shadows in the octagon, shadows on their bodies. And it took 4 months just to do that, just to give you some perspective, because nobody will ever really understand how hard this was.
Stay in the front, right here. Was there any medical updates on Irene and Brian? Because you shared those photos of Irene's face was gashed open and Brian's eye was swollen shut.
Yeah, they got some stitches. That's about it. But they were transported for, obviously, head and face scans, and I think they're good. I think they came back good.
And at the press conference, you told all the fans show up early, show up on time, and it seems almost at capacity for the Raul Rosas fight.
Yeah.
So Vegas, obviously, you get the trickle-ins for the main cards. Usually, you can count everyone in the stands for the first fight. But were you pleasantly surprised that you were almost at capacity before the first fight even went down?
Yeah, listen, that's what this was all about. It was about the Sphere. So. You don't want to show up at 8, you know what I mean? And people were interested. People wanted to see it. People wanted to experience it. So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did anyone hit you up about all the Easter eggs that you said you...
Yeah, no, I don't know. Is Eric in here?
John Morgan got them all.
Oh, you did?
His wife did.
There's no way.
He was sitting next to me. He told me they did it.
We haven't gone through all the submissions yet.
Huh?
We haven't gone through all the submissions yet.
How many submissions are there?
I'll get that for you before the end of this.
Give me a ballpark.
I have no idea.
All right. We have no idea what's going on right now.
Dana, to your left. Diego Lopes, if it wasn't for Alex Pereira, Diego Lopes would probably be the fight of the year. Can you talk about his performance tonight against a stud like Brian Ortega?
Yeah, so what was fascinating to me was he hurt him, drops him, you know, right out the gates, and then jumps on top of him instead of having him stand back up and trying to finish him. Almost like he wanted to submit him or something, you know. I don't know if that was the case, but I think he made the fight a lot tougher than it had to be for him. And I think a lot of people were sleeping on him because of the Ige fight. And yeah, he definitely put that behind him.
On this night, I know before we didn't get a chance to see it, but now that we've seen it, is there anything that you take away from what you did tonight and apply it to future cards?
Tons of things, yeah. There's lots of cameras that we use tonight, drones that we use tonight. And yeah, some of this stuff will spill over into our production moving forward.
Did you get a chance to enjoy what you
Not really, no, I don't. I don't ever enjoy it. It's actually a sick, disgusting thing that I have. It's like we build these things up and I want them to be over. You know what I mean? I just want to get through it. It's not a fun way to do it, but it's how I don't know how I sort of deal with it. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned there's going to be a documentary on this, right?
Yep.
Do we have any idea when this is going to be put together?
We're filming it right now.
Well, damn.
There you go. You're in it.
Thanks.
Dana, right here in front of you.
Yep.
You set the goal at greatest live sporting event that's ever been done. So I mean, you said it went perfect. It was seamless. Do you feel?
I'm not the guy to answer that. You guys are. You guys are here. Listen, the thing went off perfectly, exactly the way we wanted it to go. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this. If you have, I don't know where the fuck you live or where you came from, but yeah, that's up to you and the fans to determine what happened here tonight. I'm actually looking forward to hearing about it. But yeah, no, that's up to everybody else. I know what we did here tonight. You couldn't possibly know everything that I know and how hard this was to pull off. And that's why when I was saying, you know, and I wasn't trying to be shitty. I hope I didn't come off that way. You know, people are like, well, U2. I said, well, how would you compare it to U2? I said, U2 is crayons compared to what we're going to do in here on Saturday night. So you saw what happened here tonight. I mean, you see, when we were going through, you know, the legends of Mexico and of boxing, and then the guy turns his fist into the, like, it's just, there's so many little details. If I put you through and you watch the show 25 times, you'd see new things that you didn't see the first time. There's so much detail in this thing, and the marigold scene is incredible, coming out of the mouth of the skull, and yeah, just the team absolutely murdered this thing. And we all knew going into tonight what we had, but we had to execute. We still had to deliver and make it look seamless.
You also said that you thought that maybe after people had seen this, that it would actually change the way that maybe some venues even build themselves.
Right.
Like, do you feel like do you still feel that way after watching it?
Do you?
Yeah,
I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you fucking got mascots bouncing off trampolines and dunking basketballs and shit. You got jugglers, and I mean, I've been to a lot of NBA games. You know, they got some weird shit going on at halftime. You know what I mean? So imagine if you started building these arenas where you could actually really do entertaining stuff. Listen, this was my vision for this fight. You know, these people that build these arenas, the whole arena game is starting to go to another level. I actually had a meeting here tonight about an arena that we're probably going to be a part of here in Las Vegas. So the whole game is changing. It's incredible.
Yeah, and I guess to that, like, to expand on that, like, and this might seem kind of silly or dramatic, but like, is this the future of sports? Like, do you think that eventually, I mean, and technology is just, you know, coming leaps and bounds every year to year. Like, is this what the future of sports entertainment looks like, live sporting events?
It should. I mean, listen, I talked a lot of shit for a lot of years about boxing, Showtime, even HBO, who I considered the gold standard of it. In 30 years, the only thing that changed in boxing was HD. You know what I mean? So I always like to push the envelope and try to make it better. When new technology comes out, I try to raise the bar because I think it should be. It's easy to just, I could just say fuck it and go put on fights every Saturday. We sell out, we do great. All these things happen, but I like to you know, not only, and for my team, my you know, my production crew, what these guys pulled off and what they did, we should be already without tonight, we should be fucking stepping over Emmys at the office, but, you know, we got 2.
And then last thing for you, so knowing what this process looked like and what your team accomplished, do you see another league trying to pull anything even close to this off? Do you see NBA? Do you see any type of other sport trying to do something similar to what you did tonight?
It would have to be. You ain't going to see it in boxing. Boxing isn't going to do it. Unless Turkey loved this tonight and he comes in and buys the fucking sphere and puts on, he might do it. I shouldn't say not boxing with him floating around. But, it would take NBA or, one of these companies that, has tons of money. And, yeah, I wouldn't say no. We showed everybody tonight what's possible. You can do more than concerts here, and you can pull them off, and you can make them great. Who's next? Who's next?
Dana. This was your love letter to Mexico. Are you ready to do like a love letter to Brazil or a love letter to Japan?
Well, I told you, the guys were asking me tonight to do the 4th of July and do the American one. But what's your question?
Not necessarily do it in the sphere, but like a love letter to Brazil in Brazil or a love letter to Japan in Japan, something like.
It was Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
That was the theme here tonight.
In the future, is that something that
I haven't even thought about it. I'm just wrapping up my love letter to Mexico. I haven't thought about any other love letters yet.
Are you expecting to get a text from Kendrick Lamar or Terrence Crawford?
I was talking to Terrence Crawford. I don't want to call him. I don't know who the hell did that and thought it was, that was pretty bad. He did kind of look like Kendrick Lamar, though. Let's not fuck around. He kind of did look like Kendrick Lamar. But yeah, that was. Hey, so when I said we had a flawless production tonight, I take that back. Yeah, there was the one. That was that. Yeah.
You mentioned boxing. Terrence Crawford wasn't the only notable boxing name in here. So how did it feel to have some big boxing names show up to the sphere for UFC?
No, it was cool, especially with boxing going on right down the street. No, it was cool. Yeah, appreciate it.
Obviously, you guys are really good at promoting fighters, giving them opportunities, putting them out there. 3 of the main card winners weren't even in the UFC just over 2 years ago. So how does it feel to see the guys like that just crack into the sport and get big wins in this sphere, one of the biggest events ever?
Yeah, so what we try to do is we do so many of these fights, in a month between, depending on what time of the year it is, between fight nights, pay-per-views, Contender Series, The Ultimate Fighter, and all the other stuff that we do. It's easy for people to kind of slip through the cracks. So we literally just built a board in the war room where we take, the people that we thought looked the best in the last event. It could be Contender, it could be any of these things, and they go on a board that we see every day with all their, all their stats and information. And it's a great question because we literally just created this board at the office for that.
Dana over here.
Yep.
Dana, you've been asked a lot about, the history of it. Can you just talk about this year? You've had UFC 300, the Sphere. You announced the full card for Jon Jones coming back to headline Madison Square Garden.
Abu Dhabi card's badass, too.
You've had a great run of main events through all the pay-per-views this year. Can you
and wait till you see December.
Who do you got?
I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Oh, man. Can you speak to the strength of the UFC brand in 2024 and where you guys are at considering everything that's happened this year?
Well, I say this every year. I mean, every year I'm like, how do we beat this year? And then here we are in 2024. We just did all the things that you just mentioned, and we're going into 25. How do we beat 24? It's just we always figure out a way. We always seem to do it. And the great thing about this business, and that I love, and like me wanting to do the Sphere, some things will pop up that you don't understand. I mean, not that you don't, that you didn't expect to happen, and I jump on them when they pop up. I jump on it. So, I mean, it's probably a bad example, but at one point I was talking about Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. So, any crazy shit that pops up in front of me, and I was legit negotiating with the Coliseum in Italy to do that fight, legitimately in negotiations with them, and they don't let anything happen over there. And this was going to be in the actual Coliseum. So, just making a point there that when things pop up, I'm the first guy to jump on it and try to make it happen.
So if they said they were going to build an arena on the moon, is Dana White down for UFC Astro?
You know I would. You know I would.
Finally, when Fight Island happened, you talked about, similar things. The merch went off, the fans just kind of gravitated to the idea, and it just had a life of its own. In as few words as you can, because I know it's a lot, how did the Noche UFC what do you think is it that connected just from the fans to the company that this has just taken off with the life that it has?
That's a great question. So I had a bunch of people that would tell me, they'd come up to me all the time and say, I became a fan because I watched The Ultimate Fighter on Spike TV or on Fox. I became a huge fan of the UFC. Then now people come up to me and say, I became a fan during COVID. Literally just met a couple people this weekend. Our fan base grew 69% during COVID. And yes, I think that tonight's event, some people probably tuned in for the first time, and hopefully they turned off before the co-main event, and they're big fans now.
Dana,
Hi, Dana.
Can you just talk about Raul's performance in the opening bout? He obviously was a big favorite. He seemed to have the crowd behind him. Wasn't able to get the finish. What did you think of his performance, and what do you envision next for him?
Yeah, no, he's a great kid. I actually ran into him outside when he was just getting ready to leave after the fight. And, we'll keep doing what we do with a guy like him. Keep building him and putting him in fights that, hopefully push him and take him to another level, and we see what he can do. But he's a good kid. He's a tough kid. I like him.
Hola, Dana. Buenas noches.
How are you, sir?
Todo muy bien. Venimos desde Chile. Perdón. Quiero saber su opinión sobre la pelea de Ignacio Bahamondes para la Televisión Nacional de Chile.
Coming from Chile, what your opinion was on the fight from Ignacio Bahamondes for all of Chile to see?
Yeah, what do I think of it?
Yeah.
I think that it was the, he got a performance of the night bonus, so he obviously came out and shined tonight. I think it was a great fight, and I loved it. And I don't know what else to tell you.
Ganó el bonus, ganó el performance y lució esta noche, no sé más qué decirte.
Perfecto. Dana, se está hablando en Chile, no sé si será real, eres tú la persona para decir si es cierto, que podría llegar pronto una fecha oficial de UFC con una pelea estelar de Ignacio. ¿Es real ese rumor?
There's been talk, and I'm not sure if you're the right person to talk about this, but or to talk to about this, but maybe a card in Chile with Ignacio Bahamondes as the headliner. Is that something possible?
Is he asking me if I want to do that, or
A possibility.
or has he heard it was talked about?
Dijiste que hablaron acerca de eso. They have talked about it.
Yeah, I would definitely be the guy. I say this all the time. I want to go everywhere. We want to go everywhere, and obviously, when you end up having a star or a fighter who ends up being, whether he's very popular or high in the rankings, and you feel like he is somebody that you could bring to, like Dricus Duplessis. I'm very serious about Africa in 25. We're going to go there. I'm going to make this happen no matter what. Again, here we go. I don't care what it costs, but whatever it takes to get that done, we're going to go there. And then we want to go to Spain, too. The problem with Spain is they have so much going on there. All the arenas are booked up. They're backed up. Or I would have been in Spain this year. So, yes, it is not out of the question to go to Chile.
Bueno, no soy definitivamente la persona con quien hablar, así que hablaste con la persona correcta. Sí, cuando tenemos una estrella que o es porque es popular, porque está en ascenso, porque está en el ranking, intentamos llevar a esa persona para impulsionar el mercado. Y así como Dricus Duplessis, por ejemplo, algo que he hablado, no me importa el costo, yo lo voy a pagar, queremos hacerlo en Sudáfrica, queremos hacer una pelea en África, tanto que quería hacerla en España. Lamentablemente, si no fuera por el hecho de que todas las arenas en España están siempre a pleno, ya habría hecho ahora. O sea, sería en España ese año. O sea, sí, existe la posibilidad.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Dana.
Por acá también, un
Yes,
segundo. Para Chile también, el día de ayer La Jaulita, el hermano pequeño de Ignacio, ganó su primer título. ¿Será posible en un futuro tener las dos jaulas dentro de la compañía?
From Chile as well, La Juelita. Ignacio Bahamondes' younger brother actually just won his first title. Could it be possible that we would have brothers fighting in the UFC?
Interesting. How old is he?
¿La edad? ¿Qué edad tiene?
17 años.
17 years old.
Damn, okay. What's his record?
¿Y cuál es el récord?
5-0. He's 5-0.
No,
Cardel.
cinco wins.
He's 5-0.
And he's pro? Pro? Amateur?
¿Y está profesional, Amado?
Sí, su primer título.
Absolutely. I mean, you see him on the Contender Series soon. Yes.
En absoluto, en Contender, ¿por qué no?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dana,
yeah.
Dana, we saw you speaking in Spanish at the entrance today.
Yeah, I'm good, right?
Yeah, with the AI, could you try some Spanish today for the?
Who said that was AI?
Well, I think so.
What's your question?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish, and that was AI. Pretty good, right? So remember the whole Howie Mandel podcast? That was where I discovered that's his company. It's Howie Mandel's company, a company called Pronto. And we've been looking for the opportunity to work with him, and it worked out perfectly for Mexican Independence Day. Because if I was just standing in the box speaking, it wouldn't be as impressive as it was with my Spanish. No, it's a very cool thing he's got there, and I don't know what your question is, but I hope I answered it.
And how was to compete with the Canelo fight also tonight here in Las Vegas?
What do you mean? How was it to compete with it?
Well, not compete, but to have a fight for Canelo this day for the.
Yeah, but this wasn't about Canelo or Heyman. You know, they're doing their thing. I'm doing my thing. This was the arena guy at MGM. This was between me and him, and we kicked arena guy's ass. So, yeah, I'm good. I don't know if that's what you asked me, but that's the answer.
And how important is for you the Latin American audience?
What's the question?
How important is for you the Latin American audience?
The audience. How important for you is the Latin American audience?
Well, every audience all over the world is important to me. You know, the whole Latin American thing is more of a personal thing for me because of growing up being a boxing fan, and I could go on for 25 minutes about this, and none of you guys want to hear this shit, but yeah, it's a big deal to me. Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Every Diego Lopes fight, he goes and talks to you. What did he ask this time?
Usually he's really nice. Tonight he wasn't nice at all. He was screaming at me, "Give me my title shot! I get the title shot now." Yeah, he was very angry tonight. It wasn't the usual happy-go-lucky, smiling Diego Lopes. He was fucking screaming at me. He was all fired up tonight.
And he seems like he want to go to Abu Dhabi as a backup fighter. Is that a possibility, or?
We'd do anything with that guy. Even though he was screaming at me tonight, I really like him. So, yeah, he could be.
And with the trilogy tied now, what would you like for Valentina? Would you like her to fight someone else? Manon was here.
I don't know. Tonight, I don't know. You know I don't know tonight. Matchmaking on Tuesday. I'm so fucking tired I can barely even sit in this chair.
And by Tuesday, maybe you will be talking about it. Is it going to be in Mexico next year, or Dallas, Arizona, some of the places you mentioned?
Yeah, I think, you know, this week we got to start thinking about where we want to go next year and lock that date in before somebody takes it from me. Texas, Arizona, Mexico. Mexico would obviously make sense. I had a luncheon with all the Mexican media the other day, and they were telling me that in Guadalajara, there's a really nice new arena down there. So, to be honest with you, that's I'm going to look at that first.
It's operated by the same company that runs the Mexico City arena. So,
yeah, take a look at that.
I'll stay till Tuesday and I'll ask you again.
Yeah, call me Tuesday.
Thank you.
Dana, the arena that you mentioned you had a meeting about tonight, which Las Vegas arena proposal is that?
There's a lot, right? They're floating around like crazy. This is one that I heard about a week ago. That sounds really amazing, but we will be a big part of that thing if it happens.
Has it not been talked about yet, or?
I don't know. I don't know if it's been talked about publicly. I don't know.
Also curious, I may have missed it, but was Oscar de la Hoya included in any of the tributes tonight?
I did. Yeah, he was in the video.
Okay.
He was in the video. He's an asshole, but you can't deny what he did. I mean, the guy, you know what I mean? He's a fucking lunatic. But he was a bad boy in his day. Before he got his fake abs. Yeah, he used to have real abs.
For the Jon Jones fight, I wonder what's your level of confidence that that will actually happen?
That what will happen?
That it will actually happen, given his history.
I'm sorry, who was it?
Jon Jones.
Oh, Jon Jones? Well, Jon Jones is running loose and wild here tonight in Las Vegas, so let's hope we... Hunter, you babysitting him tonight? No?
Ryan Garcia.
Who is? Oh, they're out tonight. I hope that's not true. Listen, John promised me tonight that he's going to be good while he's in Las Vegas. So,
There's just one quick one here. Obviously, the Michael Chandler fight was announced. He's fighting Charles. He was here doing some media with us, and he said he's known about this for 4 weeks. He just kind of kept it secret. He couldn't remember whose idea was to fight Charles in MSD. Do you remember who presented that idea? Was it Mike that approached you, or did you guys approach Mike to like maybe move on from the corner?
I don't remember either.
Dana in the back,
Yep.
right in the middle here.
Yes, ma'am.
Last year, Canelo decided to go on September 30th instead of Mexican Independence Day weekend, going head-to-head with UFC. This year, he did go on the same night as UFC. Are you going to keep that date, Mexican Independence Day weekend, and perhaps move it around the world, or stay in Las Vegas?
Yeah, no, we just talked about this. We're going to go, I just said Guadalajara. I'm definitely looking at that seriously, and then we could look at Arizona, we could look at Mexico. Yeah. I'm actually happy he went tonight. MGM guaranteed him $25 million on the gate, and you know Canelo did good, so good for him. I'm happy for him. Cool. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great weekend.
Valentina, front right here. Obviously, congratulations on regaining your flyweight title. So I guess this is something you had been working for a long time. You thought you should have gotten that back the last time you fought. So to have that back sitting in front of you once again, what are the emotions now?
Oh, I'm so happy, like, about everything, and yeah, definitely, like, I'm so happy to return what belongs to me, and it's like 1 year, like, without the belt, it was feeling so weird, and really right now it's difficult to process all the emotions going through me, because with all the adrenaline and like things after the fight, what's happened, it's I think like by tomorrow I would exactly answer the question. But right now, in 2 words, I just happy that everything is good.
And how does this win compare to the first time you won the belt? Because that was the vacant title. This is the title that you had lost and you regained. Does this feel better to regain what you had lost?
It's very like, I cannot say it feels better. It feels different, because the first time you are becoming UFC champion, it's so like sharp feeling. It's so colorful feelings, and it's like it's the first time. And especially my first belt, it was the belt, not the modern, so it was before. And I was like the person who like on my first defense, it was already new, so I was like lucky one that had like opportunity to touch both belts. But this belt, what it means for me, it's all the story, like losing the belt because my own errors that I did in the first fight, then fighting second fight, like winning the fight, receiving a draw, and like this third fight, I was like just all these 5 months of training camp. It was so intense for me, not only physically, but also like mentally. It's every time thinking how to become better. And it's like every time I say like right now in there, like for the old people, just for this particular fight, I was feeling so much energy inside me, kind of like monster energy that I just unleashed it, and I went with everything like in this fight.
In terms of how the fight played out, you obviously was very grappling heavy, and Alexa was trying to go for submissions, but you would kind of power through them. Was this the game plan going forward, and were you surprised at like how easy you were able to take her down and control her?
Actually, the game plan, it was several. Like we had several game plans for how fight could go, and we work on like different situation every time. We work on different techniques, and like my coach Pavel Fedotov, he was like very sharp on this moment, like what I have to do or what I don't have to do. But the key, as I'm saying, to win the fight, it's like be the bullet, like believe in your body instincts, have all the weapons ready for attacking or like to use for your victory, but believe and let your body to choose the right tactic for the fight.
That guillotine that she had you in, how tight was that?
Actually, it was not tight, and that's why I was not worried. Like, and when referee watched at me and said, like, I'm good, I'm keep working on my position, and like after 5 seconds, I adjusted position, so I put my elbow on her arm, so it's kind of like even was less tension.
And how was it fighting in the Sphere with the big screen around you, the entrances, they had the holograms of you and all that kind of stuff? So what was it like?
I didn't see it. It's very like, I feel it's big. I feel this energy of the, like what is happening around. But I was so much focused on the fight. It was like, it was necessary to win the fight. It was not just, oh, maybe I do, maybe I know. It's like 50-50. It was like, or like win the fight or die there inside of the octagon. So this is what was in my mind. And I tried to get out of everything that could distract me, and because I feel sometimes fighters who are taking much attention what's happening around, they losing this connection with the fight to fight with your opponent, and that's why I was like so focused and like tunnel vision, super tunnel vision, and I can't wait to see in replay everything, because I want to see what I was a part of.
And what do you want next for your career? Because obviously Manon weighed in as the backup. There's the possibility of the 4th fight against Alexa. But what would you like next for your career?
Oh, really? I am a fighter who kind of like, every time, all my career was like that. I wanted to fight with the best one. To actually like, to be the best, you have to win the best. And this is every time was my mindset, and this is define me, who I am. That's why I never choose my opponent and say, oh, this one I don't go with, like I would probably do another one like that. No, it's not me. But it's very hard for me to say right now, because I really want like to, it was super intense preparation for this fight, and not only in terms physical, like trainings or something like that, but mental part, it's kind of like super hard as well. Every time you go in like to bed, you're thinking like what you have to do differently on the training, what technique you have to add to your game. And now finally, first night after like 5-6 months, I can sleep and enjoy my sleep.
Valentina, you're one of the more experienced champions on the roster. You dominated the division, you lost the title, you got it back from who took it from you. Are there any things you're going to approach a bit differently or make some tweaks as a champion in your second reign?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's right now going through the training camp, what I like for my third fight with Alexa, and it was, I don't know, I just feel so different, so powerful, so strong, even better than I was like few years ago. I just like this strength, it's like I just felt it through my veins, through like everything. And I think it's something good for a fighter, because if you are not evolving, it's kind of like, okay, it's like time for retirement. But if you feel strong and powerful and continue to do these hard things what you are doing, but you love it, so this is kind of like what important is. The rest, it doesn't matter.
Sure. Now, how did you feel to spoil the party a bit tonight for Noche UFC?
Oh, it's amazing. Definitely with this outcome, it's like, it's amazing. Yeah, definitely Riyadh season, Noche UFC, all the graphics of the Sphere, it's the biggest event of martial arts what's ever happened before. Like it be part of that. It's Seiba, it's everything. And I hope we're gonna have more events like this, but I doubt it's gonna happen sometimes in the near future.
And I saw you and Merab had a cool celebration in the back. How did that feel?
It's actually, this is like when I going out with a song, my music is Lizginka. This is like south of like Caucasus Mountains and Georgia. We share like the same type. It's more than a dance. It's a like music style. It's a dance. It's a culture. It's so much in Lizginka. It's like so energizing dance. It's for the fighters, for the warriors. It's like bringing the spirit up, and that's why when I like saw Merab winning the fight and winning the title, I said like we have to dance it to celebrate, because Lizginka, it's like it's our dance, our like music and dance in common.
Valentina over here. In the back. Valentina, you were on top for so long, and now with the long layoff between this fight, some fighters, when they lose the belt, they say, you know what, I don't need to worry about it. I don't need the belt to feel like a champion, to be happy with my career. For yourself, how was that time? You know, obviously someone else has the belt. People have been used to you for so long. Were you able to detach the emotion, or did you miss being champion? Did you miss everyone calling you number one?
Of course, and I think like it's, let's be fair, let's be true, let's say truth, like when we are joining the big promotions, like any promotions, right? And what is our goal of any fighter? It's like become champion, to hold the belt. And definitely when someone losing the belt, it's kind of like, okay, I cannot get it back. That's why I said like it's not about the belt, it's about something different. But let's say truth, it's every time it was about the belt. It's every time was to to win and be the champion. If not, everyone would go to the fight and do whatever the fight. No, but they fight for the victory, to be the champion. So this is, for me, every time was like a very important part. And definitely like seeing all the time, like especially, I feel ESPN, they are like showing was showing so much. Like even on second fight, it was second fight with Alexa. So every time showing the moment when she is winning or she doing good combination. And my combinations, they just ignored. But I won the fight, but they just ignored. And all the people had this like feeling that she wins the fight. And it's like, I feel like it was a draw. And I felt it's unfair a little bit. And now there is no way for them to show these clips. It's gonna do right and show the right clips now.
You've been with your manager, Jennifer, for a while now. Can you just talk about what her support has been and how she's been able to help out with your career while you continue to focus on everything that you do with your fighting in your life?
Oh, you know, Jennifer, she's amazing. She's like a wonderful person, and I'm very happy that in my team, we are all in the same mood. And in my fighter career, I had two managers. First, my manager was Roger Allen. Then I went for a few years self-manager, and now I have Jennifer Goldstein. And like all these people, it's like bringing the best of me, and we are together making our like just using all opportunities. And like I feel so much admiration to Jennifer, like what she's doing and how she's doing, because she's a woman, she's very beautiful, very talented, and it's like it's very important to I don't know, it's just like be on the same how would say mental level and feel the same things, because if in your team there is no unite things, and nothing gonna go good, no matter how business wise or like whatever. I feel the number one is all about relationship, and it's you have to go good with some person who you are close to. That's why, for example, on my team, my coach Pavel, my family, like all my corners, all my training partners who are like this fight, previous fight, everything, we are like on the same mood, and I'm so happy, so blessed to have them all in my life.
Congratulations.
Por acá, Valentina, en español. Dos preguntas. La primera, cuéntanos de ese campamento, esa preparación que tuviste en El Paso, lo hablaste después de tu pelea. ¿Qué se hizo diferente para lograr esta actuación frente a Alexa Grasso?
For all everybody. Valentina, about the camp, what was different about your preparation and what things that you put in to actually get this result against Alexa?
Mi preparación, nosotros hemos empezado en Tiger Muay Thai, exactamente para esta pelea. Tiger Muay Thai en Tailandia es gimnasio que yo represento hace ya muchos años, y mi entrenador, maestro Pavel, siempre está como mirando qué técnica usar, cómo usar y qué necesitamos agregar en mi juego de deporte, ¿no? Y después nosotros regresamos a Las Vegas. Aquí mi training partner Jason Andrade, él tiene un gimnasio lo más grande de Muay Thai en Las Vegas. Aquí con training partners con él nosotros entrenamos muy duro, trabajamos en como estamos peleando en MMA, nosotros no podemos dedicar todo tiempo solamente a patadas, a boxeo, a grappling. Nosotros tenemos que trabajar en todo. Y después el paso. El paso, ahí mi entrenador Pavel tiene amigo Armando, él tiene gimnasio Zen Martial Arts, y nosotros estuvimos allá como 4 o 6 semanas entrenando todos los días durísimo, y me encantó porque esto es muy parecido al clima como Las Vegas, pero también es altura que muy ayuda para resistencia. Y también tenemos training partners que estaban viniendo de Ciudad Juárez, de México. Entonces, con todo esto, con toda energía, con técnica diferente, estuve teniendo esta experiencia de trabajar contra cualquier técnica, cualquier estilo de pelea, y yo creo que esto es la clave, porque tú no puedes solamente confiar en alguna técnica y no saber cómo defender de diferentes palancas o algo así.
Y la segunda y última de mi parte, Después de esta actuación, después de esta pelea que dominaste en contra de Alexa, una pelea muy diferente a las otras dos anteriores, para ti, y esta es una opinión, ¿no? Una opinión tuya, ¿habría la posibilidad de una cuarta para ti?
After this fight, with the next third, a different outcome, after everything that happened, do you feel that it could be a fourth fight between the two?
De frente, creo que el público les gustaría ver algo diferente, unas nuevas caras probablemente. Como yo dije anteriormente, que estoy disponible de pelear con cualquiera, pero creo que en futuro más cercano, de frente. Cuarta pelea sería muy no apropiada.
Just about that one. It's good to see new faces. I think it'd be good to see somebody different. Maybe right now, I don't think it would be the appropriate fight. As far as the camp's concerned, started with Tiger Muay Thai over in Thailand. That's where the most of my camp. My coach Pavel always looks to try to put new different things, different techniques, looks at everything that needs to be improved. Came back to Vegas, trained with Jason Andrade as well. This is a team that we train a lot. This is the biggest Muay Thai environment that you can fight. But we always try to fight, we try to look at different martial arts, not just Muay Thai. We always try to look at grappling, look at boxing and everything else, and then go to El Paso. We have a gym over there that we train as well. It's very important because of altitude. It's a different, obviously different environment, different techniques. And we also have people coming from Ciudad Juarez to train with us. So we feel that all these different techniques that Pavel put in, from Tiger Muay Thai to Jason Andrade to El Paso, and hear from people from Ciudad Juarez, helped us build a good strategy for this fight.
Oh my God, what a memory. I even forgot about what I was saying.
Valentina, in the fourth round, you got caught in a guillotine. Was that very tight or no?
It was not tight. It was not even close to like submission or something like that. After 5 seconds, I adjusted my elbow and put it like against her arm, so she could not close very tight the guillotine. And I knew that after like several seconds, her arm's gonna fatigue, and like I would escape from that. Yeah, I definitely, it was not the best situation, but I was not worried that it's something that could happen. But definitely, I remember in the error what I did in the first fight, and I was like, no way it's gonna happen, no way.
Valentina, you've always said that you enjoy dominating your division, being a long-range champion, and now that there's new challengers and you know there's new fighters, new challenges, but does a double belt, like getting the bantamweight belt, interest you? Is that something that you see in the future? Maybe you'll end your career in the bantamweight division. Like, what's your thought process on that?
I had a little delayed on collecting my rubies from the both sides. I'm back to work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
off, congratulations on finally getting your UFC bantamweight championship. So after chasing after that for so long, and more importantly, you were chasing after Sean O'Malley. So to not only just beat him, but also get the belt in the process, what are the emotions now?
First motion was crazy. I cannot control myself. When Dana White wrapped the belt on me, I can't. And then when I get up, I realized Dana was already left. I wish I wanted to shake his hand and feel it, but now I realize. Yeah, feels great, man. Like I beat the other guys. 3 former champion. Sean is 4. So normal day. I have a belt today. That's it.
Is that how you saw the fight playing out? You were obviously pretty dominant. At the end, it looked like he caught you in the midsection with that front kick, but other than that, it seems like a pretty flawless performance.
It's an MMA fight, and I was ready for everything. I was ready for war, but when I see his power, I see his everything, and he wasn't coming. He was waiting for me, and how tricky he did against Aljo, I tried to do same. Like if you don't want to come to me, I'm not gonna come. And so yeah, nothing surprised me actually. I make him look normal.
What happened in the very beginning of the fight? It looked like you were yelling at his corner, and the referee had to stop and talk to you.
Yeah, I was in and I'm fighting. I'm a professional fighter, I'm focused, and it never happened to me. I never pay attention to other corner. But of course, team's voice, it was very familiar because he was doing same thing to Aljo. There is the clip video on social media. Everybody we saw that. And he was doing same thing, like he was doing very disrespectful way. Merab, you gotta go. He was talking shit on me. And I tell him stop it. And nobody was telling him to stop. He was just keep doing this, And if you do same thing in basketball or soccer, they will do disqualification for you. But I guess here not, and that's why I was. But I tell referee I'm sorry, like once referee tell me that's my job, and I said I'm sorry, and after I guess he stopped it because I still heard like some, but I don't care.
And what happened at the end of the second round? It looked like you were kissing him on his neck, and then you stood up, and he ran at you with like 3 seconds left.
Yeah, so I grabbed his neck, and then he has a 10-second left, and I know he can wait, and he's not gonna go sleep or tap this, and I want to make just a little fun of him, and make him just, I don't hate the guy, just make fun of him, but same time give a little kiss. To show them dominate. I control this fight, I break you, That's why I was kissing, and but I had too much fun there, and I guess I lose the time control, but when I let go, and I guess I don't know, like he followed me and he punched me back on my head, and I started protect myself again, and that was like, and I said referee again, I'm sorry referee, I'm sorry.
And what was it like fighting in the Sphere? Because you had the entrance, they showed you the hologram, they had this grand display. So did you notice any of that, or you just solely focused?
No, I was thinking what should be? It will be same arena like always. Like I've been the so many arenas. I fight, I sparring everywhere, whatever. It will be normal. But when I was in locker room and I see the background change all the time and it goes crazy, it was for sure different and beautiful. And like I cannot focus my warm up and training. I was watching TV, but once I heard my music and walk out, and I was fighting, and then I was feeling normal. I'm a professional fighter, and I can fight anywhere. But it was beautiful, beautiful experience. I'm grateful for fight. It was my dream to fight at Spear and Mexican Independence Day, and then history made.
And have you seen the videos of back in Georgia? There's like 100,000 people watching and cheering and going nuts.
Yeah, man. All country knows me when I say yes, and all country supports me. It's a very big deal. Georgia and Merab fighting in UFC and fighting for UFC belt, and I'm Georgian. Georgia give me everything, all the power, all the knowledge, like everything. I fight for my country, and I'm ready for die my country, and we all support each other, and we are a very tight community, and they are very happy for me, and I'm so happy for every Georgians, and that's all it about, man. Now today everybody happy in Georgia, and I'm glad I did this, make my country proud and happy, inspire young kids, and it's only beginning. I'm only getting better, and I will continue to do same thing for my country.
Will you go to Abu Dhabi for Ilia's fight?
Absolutely, yes. I'm going there, and I will sit front row, and I will support my brother Ilia, of course. I love Max Holloway, but Ilia is my brother, and I believe in him, and I will enjoy his title defense.
And you obviously, the last one for me, you said you'll take whoever the UFC presents you next, but will you talk to Dana and Hunter and kind of tell them who you would want next?
Nothing yet. We don't have this conversation, but of course I respect so much UFC, Dana White, Hunter, and whoever they want, I will fight next. But I wanna talk Dana more like close. I wanna become his friend.
Merab, when you fought Peter Yan, you were quite upset about the Russia sort of conflict. Is that still carrying over to Umar as well? Do you feel the same way towards him?
Umar actually not from Russia. He's from Dagestan, but he still represents Russian flag, and it's not same. I have so much respect for Dagestani people, and I respect everybody. Doesn't matter where you're from, but no, it's not same for sure. It's not about country, this moment it's not about but no, I want to fight for the top of the top. I think Figueroa, the former champion, will be 5th champion on my list, and he more dangerous, knockout power, good jiu-jitsu, makes people sleep, and it really coming from the 3 straight win, top guys, and that's why this fight excites me, makes me motivation, makes me work hard, Umar, I wasn't he's okay, but I'm telling you guys, from top 15 he only win 1 fight, and that was Corey Sanhagan. So, and we all see what Aljamain Sterling did against Corey Sanhagan, make him sleep in first round. So, I respect Corey Sanhagan, but
Is there anyone you would like to see Umar fight to gain that #1 contender?
Yeah, maybe against Peter Yan. Yeah.
Rob, straight ahead right here. You've come a long way since these past couple of years. You went from looking for a fight to now becoming the champion inside the inaugural event at the Sphere. What has been the most important takeaway you've learned about yourself on this crazy journey?
No rush. So first, when I come United States, I want to fight, but you need a good training camp, If you don't train good, if you're working and you're just running, you should not take a fight. And then second, when I go to UFC, I was sick, I don't cancel the fight, and I controversial loss. Second fight, I was winning, I wanted to finish the guy, it was fight of the night, I rushed, and controversial loss again, and after I'm gonna take my time, step by step, and don't focus for future, just focus for next fight and get better. And that's what I learned. Just get better and focus for your next fight, and then everything will come.
Did it feel good to get revenge for your team tonight?
Yes, absolutely. See, I make Sean O'Malley look normal, and that's why I wanted to do it. Imagine what Aljamain Sterling can do against him if he wasn't lucky, and if Margaret had not stopped the fight early. So yeah. It's a fight game, and Sean is a tough fighter, but today I'm the best.
And Valentina was just in here, and she spoke about the celebration you guys just had in the back. How cool was that moment for you?
Yeah, man. Valentina, she's great champion, and I respect her so much. I've been following her a long time, and she asked me to dance, and of course I enjoy it, man. This is good moments for sure. Thank you.
Merab over here.
Yes.
Congratulations. Merab, obviously we know that you and Aljamain, both being at the top of the division, you're willing to be more patient because he had the belt. You had to take more fights that were very dangerous, and it took longer to become a champion.
Yes.
Now that you have the belt, did the weight make it even better when he finally put the belt around your waist, Dana White?
Yes, absolutely. I don't regret nothing. I'm grateful, and I'm grateful because I have a life, what I have, and I have a friend like Aljamain Sterling. When I said we are friends, we are really friends. We are sparring partners. We live next to each other in Vegas, and we always call each other, like support each other. We know each other's family, and we are friends. And I'm grateful to have a friend like this. And guys, I'm gonna say again, and please understand this. Yes, I say this one interview because the media, you guys was asking me, if you beat Jose Aldo, you're gonna fight Aljo. I said, come on, I'm fighting Jose Aldo. How I'm gonna think about fighting my friend? Why? And let me fight. And then Aljo has a fight coming up against, I think, Henry Cejudo or somewhere. We have to both win. And then when I win, I'm just like, I was shocked. I just beat Jose Aldo, and then Joe Rogan asked me again, you're gonna fight your friend here, Aljamain? I'm like, please, guys, don't ask me this question. But just that you know, guys, of course, I don't want to fight Aljamain Sterling, but I'm not making excuses, but it wasn't they're not sent that contract. Maybe because of I say, I don't know, but I'm happy, and I'm grateful.
You've obviously had a lot of fun on social media leading up to the fight with Sean O'Malley. Whoever you fight next, are you going to be able to think of more ideas to sell the fight on Instagram, TikTok, and everything else?
If I fight Figueiredo, I will make lots of funny videos, yeah. But if it's other choice, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be quiet, Thank you.
Merab right here in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had a chance to see it yet, but Sean O'Malley's already posted his reaction to the loss on social media.
Yeah,
he's got a wrestling singlet on, and he's doing a bunch of sprawls. He says, back to work. So I just wanted to get your reaction to that.
Yeah, man, nothing but respect to him. I forgive him everything, whatever he say to me, to my friend, and to my country. He's fighter. He's a hard worker guy. Today was my day, and I just make him normal, and he's okay. I'm sure he will come back stronger, and he will get better. Thank you, guys. საქართველო მიყვარხართ, მალე შევხვდებით, ჩვენ ეს შევძელით, გავაკეთეთ და ყველაფერი წინ არის. გენაცვალეთ, მადლობა ყველას. აბადროებით. Thank you, everyone. I love you guys. Guys, as you see, just hard work, man. Just hard work. Nothing magic here. Just work hard, focus, and dream will come true.
Good, man. Congrats.